Hi,
Hello.
how's everybody doing? Nice to see you here. We just made some of this grass-fed Annie's mac and cheese and some venison tenderloin, so we're going to be kind of chowing down as we talk.
How's everyone?
Woohoo!
Welcome back to today's podcast. It's not a podcast.
We just went over to James and Doreen's and took a shower in their jungle shower. They've got in there, we did a barn raising video so you can see the whole shop, but in that building, they created this like jungle shower. They put all these tropical plants in their shower and it's super warm in there. So feeling great.
It's like sauna warm a lot of times.
Yeah.
But this one, they had done that before on their old garage, but on this one, they made tons of ventilation. He's got 4 sliding glass doors that slide open all as one. It's pretty wild.
A sliding glass door of sliding glass doors.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Thank you, everyone, for congratulating me on the book. That's a little
Yes,
wild.
what are we here to talk about?
Yeah. And thanks, everybody, for buying so many of them.
Do you want to say what's up?
How do you mean?
What's up? What are you talking about, for those who don't know?
Oh, for those who don't know, I've been working on this book, Normal to Nomad, for a long time. I don't want to make it sound like I've just been working 8 hours a day every day on it for 6 years, but I've been working on it in between stuff for the 6 years that we've been living in the scamp, and it's done. So I put it up for pre-order on my website, normal2nomad.com. Maybe Nick's Picks, you could link normal to nomad /shop/book.
Thank you, Nick's Picks, for being here.
Yeah, we really appreciate you. I can't believe you're always here and like perfect. So yeah, this is done and the pre-order's live. The book will ship out in like 6 to 8 weeks for the pre-order, maybe sooner, but I want to say that so that we have time. And then after that, we'll do the full launch. And let's see, the digital book will be available then. I'm not shipping internationally or like out of the United States for the pre-order. I would like to for the full launch, but either way, the digital book will be available everywhere.
We've got a lot of Canadians,
Yeah.
so I think we'll at least figure it out for Canada.
Yeah. It's just hard to, like, with the customs forms and stuff that we have to fill out. It's just kind of a pain in the butt since we're doing all the fulfillment. Well, Elsa's mom is.
Yes. Thank you, Mom. The shipping software makes it really complicated to figure out. That's why I've never shipped internationally either for my stickers. So we're going to figure it out. And if we don't, we will have the digital copy.
Yeah.
Lynn, thank you so much.
$1.99. You
out of your mind.
And the audiobook, I'm still kicking around how to do it. YouTube just announced a like podcast bit on YouTube, so we can like, it's a specific like long form podcast part of your channel, so we could upload it through that. But then I'm thinking, would I just be sitting there reading a book on video? Because then I couldn't edit it, and that would be terrible because I'm not a great reader. I don't know how exactly to do it. I think we will definitely release it via our podcast, like on Spotify and everything. But maybe we'll just release it on YouTube with like a picture of something, and then the audio.
YouTube, we're kind of learning. YouTube is shifting short-term content like the shorts, which I think is, well, that's what we're kind of
hoping.
Enough money. They can't really advertise shorts. So that's, I think YouTube's strategy is to shift more into the podcast world. Which
like longer form content.
Because it's already a long form content platform.
But, well, most channels, though, that are doing shorts are experiencing growth. Just none of the platforms that do shorts have figured out how to monetize them, really. So I think YouTube will keep pushing shorts, and we should keep making shorts for like kind of like advertisements for our main videos almost.
And a lot of people just move their TikTok videos over to YouTube.
Right.
So if you have a bunch of short form content, that's cool. I made a short that got over 1 million views and it paid me $14. So financially, it's not the most profitable.
Mm-hmm. But like we were saying, the long form via podcasts will be a thing that we'll do more of.
Thank you, F. Acosta. We appreciate it.
It honestly, with our podcast, just kind of felt like we were running out of topics, though. You know?
Yeah. But I think we have so much to talk about. We just need to kind of dial it in and figure out what topics specifically.
It would be fun to figure out how to have like a person with us to interview. Mm-hmm. We could even set up mics in here or something, like Dylan and Casey. Or
is it more interesting to watch just us talk, or are interviews of new people more interesting?
Yeah,
because our opinions on that differ.
Yeah, I don't know. I could make an argument either way, I guess.
Jeff, thank you so much. What's everyone saying? Both, to be honest. Both. Cool.
Yeah, maybe mixing it up, doing mostly us talking back and forth about things, and then if we have an interesting topic, we could. Thank you, Carrie.
Carrie, thank you.
Incredible. We how's the home build going? We're about to dive back into it now that the weather's warming up, and
we're stoked. We really needed a break, and I think now we're recharged and ready. I can't wait. Mm-hmm. I can't wait for it to be done. But this summer, I want to not think ahead so much and just be stoked about what we're doing and all that we're learning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think this year, well, we'll get the roof on and then weather the house in, and that'll be just huge, you know? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's the big thing. Because then all of the stuff we can work on is on the inside of the house, and there's tons of projects there. Mm-hmm. So...
As for the garden this year, I'm honestly, I don't know where we're going to put it. It's up by the house right now, and we're down a little bit lower. So I don't know if it would be better to keep it down here. We would need to have more water storage right here. And now we're going to be pumping water to 2 different places. So we're going to have to kind of figure out how it'll be a simple thing once we figure it out. But
yeah, we just need to make like a
spout
T-valve on it.
Yeah. It's finally getting to, well, actually their water froze last night.
Whose?
Their dog bowl outside. So water is still freezing.
Yeah.
We're still in the 20s at night.
That's why we haven't really dove into the house yet. I'm sorry. It feels like my brain is at about 60% speed because I have a cold.
He's been kind of in bed all day.
Yeah. So yeah,
drink your green tea, boy.
I'm drinking it. My voice and my brain are just like not all the way here. Subi's doing great. I ordered some off-road like rally coilovers that are adjustable from Flat Out Suspension, and those will be here in a few weeks, and then I'm going to install them with a buddy, and I think that'll be huge for the comfort of the Subi on all these gnarly roads that we live on.
We are doing a metal roof. We're going to do a black metal roof.
Yeah.
I know people are going to find that a little confusing, but it'll be sick.
A lot of people have said like, hey, now you're a published author. And I don't think that's necessarily true. If you because nobody else had anything to do with it.
Well, you're still a published author.
Maybe.
You published it.
Maybe so. But I wasn't like an aspiring author necessarily. Like it's not like my dream to be a writer, but this book just like poured out of me and felt like it needed to be written, so I wrote it.
You just had so many you were constantly writing as we were traveling. Yeah. And you had so much. And also it's out of desire that you wrote it too, wishing that we had it.
Right.
We've met so many nomads along the way too that it's kind of like you're writing it for them a little bit too. Mm-hmm. Genevieve, thank you so much.
That's Genevieve's first super chat. That means everybody else
How do you know
has
that?
super chatted before.
Oh,
That's crazy.
wow. Thank you.
Any hunts planned this year? I put in for I used my points up to put in for a deer tag, and I just put in for points again for everything else. So not really planned yet, but yeah.
What's a good budget for starting a homestead? If you have the land and a carport turned home.
What? I don't see what you're reading.
Mage Matthews. What's a good budget for starting a homestead? I feel like I can't really answer that because I'm not sure yet.
Well, and it's so variable, depending on where you live and what the building codes are and what the climate is.
And how much money you put into it. You can do it for a lot of money or not.
What do you think the least amount of money that you can practically do it is?
Hey, we got Karina in here.
Hey.
And Lynn, thank you so much. $1.99. Are you out of your mind? So stupid.
Location. Nick Pick says, yeah, that's the biggest thing.
What did you just say? But I was saying you can do it with like scrap, like people make pallet gardens. You can go really cheap and thrifty.
But a lot of places you can't legally go cheap and thrifty. Like when we were in Taos, everybody like by their building codes, everybody has to build their house to look like a Adobe house. 2020 Vision Teams, first time catching us live.
Christina,
$4.99. You out of your mind?
Thank you so much, Vision Team.
And we don't mean offense when we say that. We just said that one time and it kind of became a thing. So
years ago.
Yeah, so sorry about it. Elsa, what are you eating? We're eating mac and cheese and venison tenderloin.
It's grass-fed mac and cheese.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Grass-fed box mac and cheese.
I don't really understand how they fed the macaroni grass.
I would have made it on camera for you all, but my Instant Pot broke. I'm pretty devastated. Because I store it outside.
You can get the book at normaltonomad.com. I just linked it. You can get the book there and it's $20.
Have you ever eaten rocks? Yeah, because we cook outside. There's rocks in our food all the time, which is for real. Rest in peace, Instant Pot. Yeah, it's got a C6L error. If anybody knows anything about that,
yeah, send us an email if you know how to fix it.
The piece that is causing it looks perfect, not burnt or blown out or anything. So I don't know what to do.
Has it been? Yeah, Karina asked if it's been unseasonably warm here, and I feel like yes. Like a few days ago, it got hot. Like I'm not ready for it to be hot yet, and all the flies woke up.
That's the worst.
Yeah, that was the bad part. But the A-frame is really well insulated, so we got a screen for this door that we need to hang up, and then Pilot's out right out on the.
You can't see her.
Yeah,
she's
you can
right
just
outside
barely
the door.
see her, but she's right outside the door with a marrow bone.
And Camp's in his chair.
What was I saying? Oh, once we get some blackout curtains for the upstairs window and this window, it'll stay really nice and cool in here.
It's just so warm at night.
Yeah.
Too.
We haven't
really
used our
amazing.
heat in like days.
Today it was pretty cold.
Yeah.
It came on a bunch this morning.
Kelsey Sue, happy to be joining the live stream with our brand new baby. Oh, can't wait to read Barron's book. Oh,
congratulations.
That's cute. Do you still have a pet snake? I haven't had a pet snake in many years.
Do you want to split these last pieces?
Yeah, you can eat them.
This one?
You can eat them. I think I've eaten more than you.
You want it?
How did you stay cool? You can eat it. Okay. How did you stay cool in the scamp during the summer off grid? I'm kind of not hungry because I just don't feel super good. We used that. You can find answers to that in my new book. You can buy my book at normaltonomad.com. Find all the answers to all your questions. Okay. Should we turn off the live stream? Signing off. Buy my book. We like to say that we use the altitude as a thermostat. So they say every 1,000 feet you go up, the temperature drops by like 4-ish degrees Fahrenheit. So if you go up a couple thousand feet, it gets like 10-ish degrees cooler. So we would do that. We would always park in the shade, and we would go to like dry climates were a lot easier to deal with, because as long as you're in the shade in dry climates, it really cools you off. So stay out of humid places when it's super cold. That's all of our advice, right?
QVC, normal to Nomad.
Everybody's telling us about the Instant Pot. Can you email me, barronlink@gmail.com, about the Instant Pot? And then we can fix it.
Judy, thank you so much.
Judy, you've been one of our longest time fans, and you're so sweet. Thank you.
And friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fans is a weird ass word. I don't like saying that. Will you ever go back to sleeping in a doghouse?
That's not very nice.
Sure.
I mean, our house will always be a doghouse.
Yeah, who let the dogs out? My voice sounds weirder than normal because I have a cold.
You want me to eat this?
Yeah, if you will. My gut feels a little weird. Should we talk about the book a little?
Yep.
What are you giggling at?
Myself. I'm hungry. I had a couple questions that I thought of.
Okay.
I was wondering what your favorite part of the book was to write.
Probably some of the intro chapters. They were really hard. Not the intro chapters, but like the situation. Like, even though the typical roads we choose in the journey of life lead to somehow many of us fail to choose a different trail, and kind of elaborating on that kind of stuff. It's like observational was fun to write. Writing about a psychedelic experience I had that changed my life was pretty interesting. That was pretty uncomfortable to write about, though.
I think that'll be a fascinating thing for people to read.
I hope so.
What was the hardest part about the book?
The solar section was really hard.
What's the hardest part? Also, I have a second question.
So the solar was difficult because it's easier for me to describe it and explain how I picture solar in my head and how I think it works when I'm going back and forth in like a Socratic sort of discussion. But just assuming that nobody, like, I can't look to somebody to see if they're nodding along. It's like, it's hard to write to that. But the big thing is that watts are the way. So I didn't go into a lot of detail about like how to build your solar kit out and like what solar controller to get or those types of things. I really talked more about the high level, like how solar works, how to picture it in your head, how to like calculate how much power you're using, what watts, amps, and volts mean, that kind of thing. So then hopefully you can use that and then go to other resources that there are plenty of once you have an understanding, and it'll be a lot easier to figure out.
As somebody who might want to write a book,
yeah,
what was one of the more challenging or maybe your least favorite aspect? Not that we want to like talk about the negatives of it, but what was hard about it?
It was, well, I know it's not long, like it's not a giant book. It's 185 pages, but and I tried to write. When I write or read somebody else's book and it's clear that they're just writing to like make more words on the page, that really gets on my nerves.
Like to fill a quota.
Yeah, if somebody belabors a point and just keeps on pontificating endlessly, it's like, okay, dude, just give me the meat of it and then move on. So I tried to write as concisely as I could. So that said, though, whenever I would open up my file, and try to work on it. A lot of times when I had a big chunk of it done, it was just overwhelming. Like I didn't know where to go or what to do. I ended up like rereading the first few chapters a billion times and then just like slogging through it. So that was hard, just kind of being overwhelmed by it. The editing process was not fun. But I don't know. I didn't like hate any of it, you know.
A lot of things to figure out on your own.
Yeah, it was. And I did all the design aside from the cover myself and like placed the photos and I wasn't using like so my initial thought with the book was that I would make it exclusively for ebook, like EPUBs and Mobi files for like Kindles and Kobos and all the e-readers, and so that people could read it on their iPads or phones or whatever. And because that's like living nomadically, I had to move all my books into digital format because we didn't have any space. But I quickly realized that nobody that I was trying to share the book with could like knew what to do with the files, whether it was a PDF or EPUB or whatever. So I was like, crap, most people don't know how to use an ebook. So I had to kind of pivot away from that. So I will release but all that to say that I was designing the book primarily for an ebook, and then like very late in the process realized that nobody knows how to use digital book files. So I was like, shoot, I really need to make this a physical book too. And then ended up doing that.
Somebody said that they're surprised that we put in a new engine in the Subaru instead of getting a new car.
Yeah, there's not the model year of the Subaru that we have, I think is perfect because like it doesn't have traction control. It has a turbo. It's not like it doesn't have all the complicated emission stuff. It's just since it's almost a 20-year-old car, it's like the perfect car that like there's almost no car that I'd rather have. The size of it's perfect. It doesn't have like all the electronic craziness, like the blind spot indicator stuff. I don't know. Chris L. Love this channel. Keep up the great work, guys. Thank you, Chris.
The big girl. Enormous now. Oh my gosh. She looks a lot really bigger than maybe she really is.
Yeah.
But she's a big girl. Okay, here's your bone.
Violet is huge. Yeah, she's a big chunk.
There you go.
She's a sweet girl, though. She whines so much. I never realized how vocal shepherds were until we had one. Do they stop whining when they get older, or do they just whine for the rest of forever?
No, we got little guy.
Oh, the little man.
How much did Camp weigh at the vet the other day?
He weighed 27 pounds. He's got his winter weight on him.
You know, chunk.
He just scratched his eyes a bunch the other day.
This one.
Yeah, his allergies flared up.
So we had to go get him his allergy shot. Poor buddy. He's CP.
Camp is literally a cat. These are facts. Does anybody know if German Shepherds generally like whine less the older they get?
Is it a male female thing?
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. Because it's not like she has anything to worry about. She's got the best life in the world. It just seems like she whines as she breathes.
Camp is 9 years old. And Pilot is 8 months.
How would you know that she's alive if she stopped whining? I was like, how did you know? But I clearly said that in the video, I guess. That's funny.
This is a good boy.
Considering getting a second dog, how much additional crazy does a second
dog
create?
The second dog changes a lot of things.
Yeah, it does.
Especially when the first one is like this and the second one is a large breed puppy.
Yeah.
But it's like complicated and amazing.
Yeah, and we're in like the perfect situation for it. You know, like since we have so much land for them to explore and just hang out, it's take out nationwide. Yeah, I don't know. What's the hardest part about having 2 dogs?
Travel has been
Yeah.
a lot more challenging because camp is so easy. He could just comfortably sit in your lap as we're like at an outdoor restaurant or something.
Yeah.
And Pilot is so vocal that and just energetic that we gotta, also her size difference.
And she doesn't like understand how to modulate her voice at all. So she's either whining or screaming. There's no like,
and we forget that she's still a puppy because she's so much bigger than camp.
Right, because we have camp and he's teeny tiny and she's like double plus his size. So it's you think you're a grown-up girl, but she's just a little puppy still. We haven't done aversion training for snakes yet, but
I think we definitely will.
Yeah, and we have e-collars, so we hopefully will be able to use those with snakes. I don't really know. We could go get a class or whatever, but luckily we don't have tons of snakes, especially on our land. So we've only found 2 on our land in 2+ years. Yeah. So it's not a ton of snakes.
Someone said, I find shepherds slow down on whining, but they do like to talk back. Yes.
Yeah, see, I can deal with that. What Pilot will do, it's so funny. When she's like frustrated with you or you like tell her not to do something, she'll just go and just like bite at the air in front of you. And
she's so funny. She has so much personality, and it's hilarious how completely opposite the two of them are.
Yeah.
Opposite dogs. It's so funny. The good things about camp are the hard things about her, and vice versa.
Yeah. And she's so sweet though.
She'll stay close. She listens.
Yeah. And with other people, she's really sweet, but she's really vocal, like naturally guard doggy, which is what we wanted. So she's amazing. And she loves Elsa so much.
It's amazing.
We went on a hike yesterday and she just followed you around crying. Like
she was confused because we were digging for rocks on a steep hill with a bunch of friends, and she just had to follow me. She's like, why are we hitting things with a hammer? I don't get it.
Yeah. But she did really well. That was like the first real hike we've gone on with her. And she did super well. A few miles. And she seemed not like it was probably 1.5 miles in and then rest for a few hours and then 1.5 miles out. But she did really well and didn't seem to slow down at all. What other animals will you have on the land? Well, something interesting. I went back and forth with the water people, like the water use people. I don't remember what they're called, like the Department of Water. And he was saying that we can't have standing water because it's a waste of water and all this, and like he was kind of not the nicest person I've ever communicated with. But eventually he said, well, that's for people that have livestock. Because I was asking about if we could have a hot tub. Not that I necessarily want a hot tub. That'd be tight. But
you're just trying to gather.
I was trying to understand the laws so that we can like not break them. And he was like, well, that's only people that have livestock can do that. And I was like, okay. So if we have a goat, then we can have a pond. And he was like, well, now you're just trying to skirt the rules. I was like, well, no, I'm trying to understand the rules. All that to say that there's like certain opportunities that may unlock if we have like a couple goats or whatever. And the idea of pack goats, I don't know if you're familiar with pack goats, but they're really interesting to me because they'd be a really easy animal to take care of.
That was sneaky.
And we could put like a little bit of, like if we went backpacking or whatever, we could put some weight on them. And goats are easy to take care of, generally speaking, and we could have goat milk. So I think goats make sense if we were going to do an animal at all. But that's, well, aside from chickens.
I think chickens are a definite.
Yeah. Maybe even like soon. if we need to pause on the house this season for whatever reason or something, then we might be able to do chickens.
What about a peacock?
Peacocks are cool. They're loud though. But that's kind of like everyone that I've known that has had a like grown weed has had peacocks.
Hmm.
They're like a guard bird that eats bugs and stuff. My goat wants to swim. That's funny. So the hot tub thing, this is funny. So we have a well, right? But if we had a hot tub, we would have to call the fire department legally. We would have to call the fire department and have them come fill our hot tub. We can't use our water. We have to use municipal water if we had a hot tub.
All right.
Isn't that interesting? So the fire department, I kind of want to get a hot tub just to have the fire trucks come out here. It's kind of stupid. Let's see. Chickens are so worth it. Yeah, we want to set up our chickens to be sort of automated to as much as we can.
Our well is 280 feet deep.
Yeah.
And the water sits at 28 feet.
I think it's their idea is so that we don't deplete the aquifer or the groundwater source, which totally makes sense. Like if people have giant pools or whatever, it's just kind of ridiculous that like, where's that water coming from? You know, it's coming from somewhere. It's not just, I don't know. Family friendly words, please. Did I say something bad?
Bees.
What time is it for you guys? I'm watching with my breakfast in Australia. It's 6:30 p.m.
I think bees would be.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Interesting.
It's
I have a lot to learn.
Yeah, bees are kind of controversial too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like having pollinators, since we don't have a lot of bees around here for them to compete with, having more pollinators would probably be good for the plants, you know. But the idea is that they outcompete native bees, I think, and that's not ideal.
The channel Justin and Juby. Justin is a beekeeper, and they just put out a really interesting video on his beekeeping. If anybody follows them or wants to.
Somebody said, after you get your house built, will you get married? Or if you don't believe in it, that's cool too. Just wondering. We don't really believe in it, but we did get married. No, I don't think it's it. I don't know. How would you describe it?
Yeah, I feel like the incentives are different nowadays.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have religion that's tying them to get married.
Yeah.
We don't anyway. And for a while, it was didn't financially make sense. We weren't sharing assets. But now that we got legally married. We haven't had a wedding yet.
We do want to finish our house and then have a big party.
Yeah, we did that. What is the date? Oh, it's already past our.
That's not our anniversary. Our anniversary is July 4th. Because America.
Yeah.
Rainwater. Yeah. We are going to set up our roof to harvest rainwater. I don't know how much we can legally harvest. I know they changed it in Colorado pretty recently, or I think they did anyway. So have you ever had any issues with your dogs and wild animals? No.
This area that we live, it's not like we're in a heavily pined area. Like bears and cats and elk and things, they're around, but they're not super common. Coyotes, that's one thing.
Yeah, that's one thing we do have to, like, we always bring the dogs in at dawn and dusk. We don't let them out of sight. And
we don't let Camp be out of sight for too long. He likes to go up the hill to go poop and stuff. And if he's gone for longer than 15 or 20 minutes, we always make sure to go get him back.
Right.
He's a wanderer. Pilot will come to her name instantly.
Especially if Elsa goes, Pilot, Pilot. Yeah. My voice isn't.
She just turned around. Oh. She's just sitting watching the sunset.
I need to get a. We just had a pack rat start building a house in the Subi again. Yeah. So I covered it in peppermint oil and washed it. But yeah, no fun. And we've never seen a coyote on our land. We've heard them howling far away, like pretty frequently. But And if there was one, like if we had one that kept, I love coyotes, but if we had one that kept getting close and was like
If we
too
had
curious,
chickens,
especially with Pilot like being in heat and stuff, I don't know. I would probably handle that if it was necessary, you know.
so far not
Yeah,
necessary.
but hopefully we won't ever get there, but if we do, we can take care of it.
Coyotes are a reason why we haven't gotten cats.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people their cats just die.
And their cats are just numbers.
Like their names are numbers.
Yeah. So one of our neighbors' cat's name is 10. So are hogs becoming an issue? No. I don't think hogs are an issue in Colorado, except for like very far southeast, maybe. That's like Oklahoma area. I think that's only, I was just looking at a map of like introduced species, and I think that's the only spot that there are hogs. But are you planning to catch any rattlesnakes to eat? No, we won't catch them to eat. The only one that we did eat, I saw like dying in the road and just picked it up and then figured we can make use of it. And it looks like if you were to if you watch our videos in the summer, it looks like we have lots of rattlesnakes, because anytime I see one on the road, I get it out of the road with my snake hook. And anytime anyone in the local area has a rattlesnake that in their house or on their land, whatever, they'll call me to take care of it. So it seems like we have a lot more rattlesnakes than we do, because I'm a reptile nerd and I like to find them and stuff.
We pronounce coyotes too.
Yeah.
Yotes.
Yotes.
Yeah.
Will you write another book? I don't know. I mean, probably.
You had just been, that was what you did, was you just would write a bunch of blog posts, but since writing this book, you don't really write anymore.
Well, yeah, I haven't been able, because it's like so in my mind that I haven't even written a blog post in the last like over a year probably.
And writing blog posts on our house build and everything, that would be really cool and I think really easy for you. But we wake up, work on the house, go to bed. In the summertime last year anyway, it was pretty heavy
Once we
work.
get the house done though, I think, I don't know, because I'll just start journaling again. And if something starts to come together and feel like it could be a book, then I will make it a book.
Is the book on Amazon?
No, the book's not on Amazon. I only am selling it through my website for now.
normal2nomad.com. It should be right at the top in the description.
And if you just Google normal to nomad, however, like TO, whatever, it'll come up.
In case you're here late, the pre-order of Barron's book is live now, and we're trying to judge how many books we should buy. So, but, I put it in the description too.
Oh.
If you do would like to buy a book, now would be a great time to do so that we know how many to order. And we're going to be ordering in just a few days, and the pre-order will end at some point.
Yeah, probably in like a week and a half or so.
Because that's another element of this, is we're doing this ourselves and we don't know what the standard is for this kind of thing.
Yeah, we're just kind of figuring it all out.
We'll make a pre-order end date in our next video.
Yes. Somebody
Yep, skidly.
What was it like writing the book, being you're both so busy and always on the move, and how
that's why it took so long.
Does it make you feel that you're published, and can we get it on Audible? Yeah, that's part of why it took so long, is because we have a lot of things going on, and I couldn't, it was hard to make progress, especially as I got to where I wasn't just writing new chapters. I was kind of like dealing with the organization and editing and everything and rewriting of things. It took me like a full day of working on it to get to where I was like acclimated with it again so that I could be productive. So trying to get 2 days in a row to where I could really work on it was really difficult. So that's part of why it took me so And will it be on Audible? Maybe eventually, but I'm just going to release an audio version of the book via our podcast initially. Because Amazon is super useful and awesome, but I'd like to avoid going through them as much as I can because I don't know. Bezos, like I'm really excited that he gets to go to the moon soon, but I don't really want to be the one that finances it. What's the hardest part about living off grid?
That's an interesting question. I feel like there's a lot of things actually that are pretty hard. We had some friends come and visit, and
Camp, relax, buddy.
Camp gets uncomfortable when Pilot gets too close.
He's got a
he's trying to sleep.
Very intense
Small bubble.
little sphere that if her tail wags into,
when he's in his chair, especially.
And Pilot is a walrus.
Girl.
She is the least efficient drinking animal that's maybe ever been born.
Big dog energy. But we had some friends here, and we just kind of, I don't know, we honestly forget how much we have to do just to keep our everyday operating. We fill our own water.
And right now, since it's still freezing, we have to like take all of our water jugs down to the well and fill them up and put them in.
And go outside.
Sorry, I got the walking farts. But I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, we have to go down there to fill up our water, which sucks. What else? I don't know. Just like we need to switch our toilet over. Now we got to take all of our trash and everything to the dump ourselves, like drive it there. We got to burn any cardboard that we have. It's not like I don't know, like we wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of like mundane little things to manage day to day.
And trash.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Not you could elaborate.
I think it was just interesting. It caught us off guard again, realizing that our friends brought food, and then they were like, cool, let me put this in your trash. And had a big trash bag, and we're like, we don't have trash. We take our trash every month or two to the dump. So
and it's like 2 or 3 like normal size trash bags
that we fill over a month or two.
So, and most everything else we can burn, like any cardboard we can burn
or recycle.
Yeah.
But I think you just forget about those things.
And we like buy things
with less packaging so that we don't have to,
or that are like packaged in cardboard so we can burn the cardboard. But some, like when friends come visit, they don't know that. So then they have like bacon or whatever, like bags. And I'm not like
ripping on them.
Bad,
You just don't think about it when you're living in the city and you put your trash at the end of the driveway once a week.
Right. Pilot, relax.
Excuse me.
Hey, and don't forget, if you are thumbs upping this, like if you enjoy it, please hit the thumbs up button because that helps other people to see it.
We've got 661 people in here.
And only 297 thumbs. R&R, you two make the planet and my little world a happier place to be. Robin.
Thank you, Robin.
That's really sweet. Do you still have a Slack line? I don't have it set up right now. But yeah, we still do have the Slack line. I need to find a place to set it up. Thank you. The thumbs ups are rolling in.
I talked about the garden earlier, but I think what we really found we liked last year was having a garden of greens that we can harvest daily. But this year I'd like to have a bed full of just root vegetables that we can harvest at the end of the season and then can and everything in the future. We would eat them instantly. But
a lot of people have asked me to do autographed copies, and my handwriting is just too piss poor for that.
Show them. We have a piece of paper.
No, I can't write. I can't do it.
It is pretty wild. It's some wild handwriting.
Well, I'm not a girl.
It's free. You're just a free writer.
Yeah. And I was better at typing than I was handwriting since like middle school, and I can type super fast, so there was just no reason to ever use a pencil. What's funny? You're an artist. Shut up.
Well, you say middle school. That is kind of what your handwriting looks like.
Well, that's where I peaked. No, like that's when I learned how to type fast, because I started playing video games and stuff. So I could type way faster than I could write since then. So there was, until I started journaling again, there was no reason to write with a pen.
Just do it once and make that stamp. That's an autograph.
Yeah.
You can just make a symbol for your signature.
Yeah.
A star.
Yeah. Or a smiley face.
I'm sure people would love that.
Let's see. How many pre-orders have you gotten? Should I say that? I could look. Should I say it?
I guess I don't see why not. I don't know. Is that a thing that's like not something you
Well,
should
I
say?
mean, people can figure it out. Like, as soon as you order a book, it'll say what order number it is. But I've gotten 798 pre-orders.
Oh my gosh,
800.
just too shy of 800.
It's pretty crazy. I'm like trying not to get super excited until they're all fulfilled, because it's like not real until that.
And like we said earlier, my mom is going to be shipping them all out from Kansas City. And my dad, I'm sure, is going to help a big chunk too, having thousands of books at their house.
Oh, I was in order number 802. Yeah.
Oh,
Squarespace
nice.
is slow to update. Thank you guys so much for ordering. I can't.
Anybody who's ordered in this live stream, thank you so much.
And prior to that, I never thought that I would get this many orders, like, ever. So.
Oh, I was 602.
It's pretty wild. I really appreciate you guys.
I was 814. Wow.
Oh wow,
nice.
There's a lot more than I thought. Then 141. Who has the smallest? Who has the smallest number? Somebody's gonna cheat, but that's so funny.
I was 803 a few minutes ago.
805. Cool. It's kind of cool that it says.
I was 334. Yeah, it does. That is kind of fun.
But yeah, Elsa's mom volunteered to package the book orders. And I called her the other day and I was like, look, this is really going to be a pain in the butt. Like, anytime I think about, oh, Judy was 33, I trust that.
Oh, of course. Girlfriend.
Relax, sister. But yeah, I was just thinking about how that's a lot of orders to pack. So I was just making sure that she actually wanted to do it, and she really wanted to do it. So and if it gets overwhelming for her, I might even just fly back to Kansas City or something and help out. So yeah. Did Elsa's mom realize how many you were going to sell? I don't know, because I didn't know how many we were going to sell. So none of us knew.
On day one, parents like, yeah, I'll probably just order 500 books. I'm like, don't lowball yourself.
Yeah.
And anybody who gets the book, reads the book, they're going to want to tell their friends about the book. I'm sure.
I hope so.
You guys are going to love it. It's such a great book that's quick to read, like 2 full evenings of reading, and you don't want to put it down.
Yeah, you could easily read it in 2 days.
It's not a book that's like, okay, come on, droning on.
Because each chapter is very different from the last.
Like, let me show you one of the sections. Like, there's a lot of things like this that are quick descriptions of what he's talking about. I'm not trying to say that the book is.
Your dad just said, Elsa's mom says, quote, bring it on. That's hilarious. Yeah, Terry, let me know, because Brenda probably won't. So you got to let me know if she's getting overwhelmed, and I'll just come back one way or another. That was Elsa. I've been looking forward to it. Awesome, Terry. 819. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, like Elsa was saying, there's lots of chapters not lots of chapters that are this kind of thing, but a lot of them are like segmented out. So they're really quick to read and like abbreviated sort of sentences. So you can cruise them.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Elsa's little sketches in the solar
put
sun.
A few sketches in there.
Yeah.
Throughout the book.
And lots of photos. And through this private printer the print quality turned out like a
Much
lot better than it was through Amazon. So yeah, the photos now are going to be like, you'll enjoy looking at the photos, and there's lots of photos. I try to put a lot of like small photos throughout just to like help it along and give you context, and a lot of photos that we haven't shared before, so that's kind of fun too. Oh, the next book though, I would like to do like a coffee table book together that's just like really pretty with some of our best photos that we've taken, and have like even journal entries and like a map of our journey or something, to where like you'd flip to Oregon or Montana and then read like journal entries from Elsa and I and have like photos from there or something. I think that could be really, it's something that we work on together, could be really fun. People have said cookbooks a billion times, and we could totally do that. We just have no desire to.
Well, when we're in our house, it might be something different, because right now I can't photograph food to look nice. Outside, we have a cast iron. We can't have a bunch of like fancy cutesy dishes to make food look all cute for a cookbook. And you wouldn't want to look at our food and then go and make it. You know, like that's how you got to make cookbooks, is make the food look appetizing. And it's really all about the photos.
Here's camp. From
I think that
that's like my favorite photo of all time.
I posted a photo from that day today on YouTube. Elsa, I'm 821. Can you sign mine?
Thank you. Elsa will sign it for me.
I'll just, yeah.
Just throw a recipe in a book /story.
I was being lazy, so I'm order 825.
Kathleen was 82.
Oh, heck yeah. Cool. Thank you. 830. Thanks, guys.
Oh, you were asking though, what was the hardest to write? And I think the mindfulness oriented chapters were the hardest to write, because it's so ambiguous, and you could write books and books about meditation, or so to condense that to where it wasn't like a lot of droning on was difficult. But I think I did an okay job.
You wrote it from your experience.
Yeah, that's what I kept having to go back to, is just writing what worked for me, not necessarily what will work for everyone. Because you can adapt something from that, hopefully, or that's the hope.
What's next? A movie? We put out movies every week.
Yeah.
I think when we are older, it'll be really fun to go back and make some sort of a documentary with all of our footage that we have. I look forward to that. Something
that we were kind of kicking around, I don't know if we want to talk about it, but is doing like a retrospective of Nomad life video soonish.
Oh yeah.
Where we kind of go through and talk about different parts of living nomadically and what we learned, and the best parts and hardest parts and that kind of thing, as kind of like a tie into the book. I think that would be a cool thing because even though we aren't currently living nomadically, we did a pretty good job at it, and we have it pretty well figured out.
The principles of nomadic living, it's the only way we are doing what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Off grid, and just the kind of mentality of the outskirts of norms.
Yeah.
If you will. It's not just a book for people who live on the road.
And even things like how to position our house and how we chose our land and what climate we wanted to live in. All those things we had no idea before we were on the road. Like, we would have been really floundering if we would have just gotten dropped off and been like, okay, what's your ideal land that you want to live on? We would have had no idea. But now, like, we're in the Alpine desert, which when we first started living on the road, there's no way, or before, well, like when we were living in Kansas City, we wouldn't have chosen this spot because we didn't know anything. But now that we know and have the experience, we realize that the Alpine desert is like the most moderate climate to deal with. So yeah, all the things that we learned living nomadically are transferable. I have a chapter that's kind of like things to like reflect back on, but it's just like a bunch of nomad principles and virtues like frugality, flow, learning, adaptability, breath, ecology, that kind of thing. So they're like really quick and sort of quippy so that you can refer back to them if you're like in a rough spot or trying to figure out what to do next. But yeah, all of the nomadic stuff is transferable, and I think the book will still be useful even if you have no desire to live nomadically. How often does it rain where you live? Last year we had a monsoon season that was raining like
every day,
most days in the summer for like
crazy,
an hour at most, right?
So
It was
I never
actually
had
really
to.
nice
I didn't have to water the garden
for a
like
while.
at all.
Yeah.
It just thrived.
A lot of questions about international orders for the book. There will definitely be a digital version, both EPUB, PDF, and Mobi. And if you don't know what that means, if you have any e-reader aside from Kindle, then you want EPUB files. If you have like a computer and don't know how to use e-reader files, then PDF is good. And if you have a Kindle, then you want a Mobi file. And I will be distributing all of those all across the world once the book is fully launched. And then if we can figure out international shipping, we will. But I really don't want to put extra stress on Elsa's mom trying to fill out customs forms and stuff to ship the books out.
If it's something where when you order out of another country and you fill out your own customs form,
that's one thing.
That's rad. But with my shipping software, what it's been the last time I looked into it was we would have to fill out by hand all these customs forms. Even if we have to do it by computer, if we have to do it, it's not at all worth it.
Well, it's not that it's not worth it. It's just like
more
it's just complexity to deal with.
Too time consuming to make it make sense.
And will they sell on Amazon for Kindle? No, I'm gonna not sell anything on Amazon for as long as I can. And I may eventually put it on like Barnes and Noble and Amazon and stuff. But for the time being, I'm just gonna sell it through my website. And then for the audiobook, I'm gonna release it via our podcast. Yeah, okay, Rory, that's Rory, our friend.
Mm-hmm. Rory, I'll hit you up after this.
Because we are using ShipStation, but the customs forms were the sort of complex
I'll ask you about it after this. Thank you. And hi. His website, the link is in the description, the first link.
I can type it in again. I'm excited to like get back to like writing on my blog, and I want to make hats kind of similar to this, but like a waxed canvas hat with this arrow on it without normal to nomad, but just the arrow. And I found a company in the States that can produce those for us.
We just think that would be really fun to have.
Again, to have our own,
because we want hats.
Cool. Yeah. So I think I'm going to do that and then sell them through my site too.
You have your,
because they're really high quality.
Your Filson hat in here? It's waxed.
Yeah, it's upstairs, but
you don't have to get it. It's okay.
But I think that will be really fun. And the book is any like free time that I have has just been kind of sucked up by the book for a long time. So to be able to switch to thinking about other things, I think will be fun. I
would so buy a hat. Cool.
But yeah, that's waxed canvas. So that's canvas. It's not
kind of. Oh.
Can't relax, buddy. Hey.
She got in his bubble.
Yeah. But having a 5-panel hat that is made out of like a canvas, like really durable material that's waxable.
Did we ever even show? This was the hat that we got Barron in a few number of videos ago. We were like, Barron needs a hat. He got the same one as me. Of course. You love my style.
Well, I picked out your hat for you.
His is a little bit wider brimmed and bigger for his big head.
Yeah, so then for the hats, I don't know. I think we'd probably charge like $35 for them because we'd have them made in the US.
Do you want to model that before I toss it over there?
Sure. But yeah, we would have them made in the US by like one of the only companies that makes hats in the US. So they'd be a little bit more expensive. But that was part of why
Whoa.
I wanted to do wax canvas, because it feels like it can be justified, you know.
What's that?
This is Audible.
This is Audible.
So I haven't gotten this guy out in a while. But part of the reason that I got and chose that specific hat is so that we can make a hat band out of this rattlesnake skin. This is the rattlesnake that I found on the road.
That we ate.
Yeah.
And we preserved the skin so that it would be flexible so we could make a hat band.
Yeah, we did really an amazing job preserving this. I can't believe it.
Prairie
And
rattler.
it doesn't smell at all or
Really?
anything. It's like perfect. And we
That's
did
wild.
this like almost 2 years ago, and it's still like ultra supple and perfect. It's amazing.
Number 849.
Wow,
851.
849. Are you out of your mind?
851.
Pilot,
Thank you
relax,
so
girl.
much. Adventure More Outdoors. Thank you, everybody who has bought a book or who is just here in the live stream, too. I understand.
Are there a lot of you that are waiting for the digital copy, like that live nomadically or whatever, or just want a digital copy instead of a physical copy? Like, put ones in the chat if you're excited about the digital copy. Because I'm curious if there's like a fat number of people that are preferring the digital book.
Girl. Did you finish your book?
Okay. Yeah, there's a fair number of people.
Did you finish it?
Wow. Okay. Lots of people.
What?
That's good to know.
What?
Goodness.
What?
Yeah, gosh. This is the chaos that we deal with every day. So
Come here.
yeah, full time in a
Come here.
Outback, so they don't have space for a book. That totally
He
makes
doesn't want
sense.
to play. He doesn't want to play.
Digital for my tablet. And then the people that do want a digital book, do you have like a Kindle, or will you read it on a phone or on an iPad or some other tablet? And do you know what file type you prefer by chance? Hey, Todd, that's exciting. Todd Yates. iPad for the color photos. Okay, Kindle. Okay, so lots of people want a Mobi file. And then lots of people, yeah, PDF. PDF works well and is easy, but it's not as like enjoyable to read because you can't manipulate the text size because it's like raster. So like a PDF, when you export it, goodness, Pilot. She's a walrus, I swear to God. When you export, God, is she done? When you export a PDF, it like stays the exact size that you export it as. But if you have a EPUB or a Mobi, like for Kindle or other e-readers, you can adjust the text size and everything, and then it reflows to whatever style you're using. So, but PDF just looks nice. I don't know.
Kemper, you're fine. Hi. Hiya. What you doing?
Ew. Drooling all over everyone. Come here. You sit.
Good girl, Pilot.
Girl.
Good girl.
LG tablet, Samsung, EPUB or Mobi, please. Cool. Yeah, most people it looks like have Kindle, so lots of Mobi files. But when I sell it as the digital, goodness, the digital copy, I will just like link you whichever file type you want.
Susie's here.
Susie, she's too big. I was like, that's so funny. I read that and was like, who is this person saying our dog's too big? Of course it's Susie. Barron, your Vivo Barefoot shoes, how are you liking those? I've worn their shoes for years and I'm so glad to see you found them. They're my favorite thing. Return hers. Shut up, Susie. They're my favorite shoes I've ever had. Like, and it's by quite a margin. Goodness, girl. She's chaos.
in this little space.
They're pretty dusty right now, but I love them and they've held up great. I've worn them every day since I got them for, I don't know.
You got them in the winter, right? Did you get them before winter?
I don't know.
Because I remember in the winter I was like, those don't seem like winter shoes, but you wore them all winter.
Okay, Pilot, you're screwing up the audio. Mic problems. Yeah, it's Pilot's fault. But yeah, I'm loving my Vivo shoes. I want to get another pair of them. I want to get a like low top breathable runners, and I want to get a high top like backpacking pair. So, but they're expensive shoes. Mine have luckily held up, but yeah, they're expensive. I think they're made in the UK or something. So you can't really get them except for online in the States, as far as I know. Do you start typing on MS Word?
Here's the wood stove.
No, I wrote the book in and here's the book. If you didn't hear, it's on pre-order on my site, normaltonomad.com. But I wrote the book in, yeah, a lot of people are having audio issues. I wonder why. Is the video lagging or is it just audio?
If you restart.
Yeah, if you refresh the page, it might be because it's been going for over an hour. No lag, fine here. Okay. Yeah, if you're having audio issues, maybe hit Command or Control R and refresh your page. Okay. Anyway, the app that I use to write in is called Bear, B-E-A-R, and it's just like Notes, but I think the interface is cleaner and a little nicer. I just kind of prefer it. And you can write in markup form, which is nice too. But then for formatting the book, I did it in Apple's Pages, and it actually works pretty well for that. The only thing is, when I was trying to write it in Pages for EPUBs and Mobies and like reflowable documents like that, you can't make it so that there's no page break. Like you have to have the pages have a break, so then it kind of screws up the formatting, and that makes it really difficult to write for like EPUBs and Mobies and stuff. But
yes, it'll be narrated by Barron, the audiobook.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's little sections I might do that aren't in your voice, but the whole book.
I hope so.
The whole book is written in Barron's voice. Like you read it and you hear his voice.
I tried to write it with like the stupid things in my sort of, what is the word called? My cold brain isn't working. What's the word for like your vocabulary, but there's a better word. Anyway, lexicon. I don't know. But I tried to write how I speak so that it doesn't sound like overwritten and pompous. It just sounds like how I write. So if like I said, if we need to go take a dookie in the woods, then that's how I said it. Yeah. Vernacular. Yeah. Yeah. That's the word I was looking for.
There's a chapter. I think it's funny. It's
pooping.
Just titled pooping. It's not like you were writing it in a juvenile way. But
no, I just wanted to come out and say it rather than like a lot of people kind of dance around it. So I was just like, what should I call this? And I was like, I'm just going to call it pooping.
There it is. It's in hygiene. There's showers, deodorant, laundry, pooping. You have a lot to say about pooping.
Well, it's kind of
like a pretty dense chapter.
It's one of the most common things people ask about.
Yeah.
Does the book have a TOC? I don't know what that means.
Table
of contents.
Oh.
Yes, it does. Should I show the table of contents? Is that like a spoiler alert or no? I'm sure I've shown it, but here's the table of contents. So yeah, plan on buying the book online. Awesome. I'm excited that a lot of people are interested in the digital book because we don't have to ship it.
And thank you, Lori.
Yeah, Thank you, Lori Thompson. And it's I think it'll be nice to read in digital form too.
Leave him alone.
Pilot looked like she wanted out. Yeah, it's starting to get a little dark though. Or the sun is going down, so we weren't going to leave her out for a long time. We still got a good hour or so before it's really down though.
Oh yeah. It's down here at our spot.
Yeah. Please send the website again. Okay. It's in the description too.
What are you doing?
And then once you get to the site, you can just click the button and then it'll take you right to the book. Bookmarks to go with the book. That would be fun. We're talking about
She's
shipping out
right outside the door now.
Okay. I won't be selling signed copies because Elsa's mom is our
shipping queen.
Shipping queen. And my handwriting is garbage. Somebody asked something. Bookmarks. Oh, we're thinking about sending, I'm hesitant to say it in case it doesn't work out, but we're thinking about sending out a little extra something for pre-orders. So don't count on it 1,000%, but we're kind of scheming on doing that. So
it'd be fun to do something like, it'd be fun to make, we have a Normal to Nomad branding iron. It'd be fun to stamp some leather and make some leather bookmarks. Give those to people, random books like golden tickets.
Willy Wonka style.
Except you don't get to come out to our chocolate factory just yet.
Yeah, it's not ready.
Elsa will make rings for all pre-orders. Yes.
What's the most amount of books we can buy? You can buy as many as you want.
As many as you want.
Yeah, you can buy them all. Yeah, you can buy as many as you want. Let me know if you're gonna make like a giant order actually for like a bookstore or something, and then we can make a deal. Let's make a deal. No, but for real, let me know if you're gonna order a bunch of them.
The house. We have talked about the house, right? We need to finish the insulation before we can put on the roof, and the insulation is a mix of styrofoam and concrete. So we need to wait till the water stops freezing in the pipes so that we can pump water up here, which is any day now. And we can't do the insulation on windy days because it's too messy. So it has to be a perfect blend. As the days warm up and the wind is settled, we'll be getting to it probably by like next week.
Somebody said, is anybody else promoting the book like REI? If you guys are familiar with Bob Wells of Cheap RV Living, we've been friends with him for a long time, and he was like super stoked that I wrote a book because he wrote a book that's actually very similar. We ordered his book when I was like printing mine because I was on the phone with him and I didn't realize he had written one, so I ordered it, and I haven't had a chance to read it fully yet, but it's very similar but targeted toward an older demographic for sure. But we haven't partnered with like REI or any bookstores or anything just yet. I wanted to see like how people liked it and like how successful it was or whatever, and then use that as leverage to go to those places if that ends up making sense.
Oh, something also, if he were to start selling it in a bookstore, he would have to get a
ISBN
to scan it.
Yeah.
And that I think you can do. We'd have to
I can totally do it. I just don't need to since I'm just selling it through my site for now.
So there will be a black spot here, eh?
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll be kind of weird. Do you look at a book and you just don't even pay attention because the skew is so common on a book? Grab one of those.
I don't think you probably noticed this
that doesn't have a skew.
one. What the heck? This old one does. But
thrift books. Huh.
Does it? It doesn't currently have an ISBN number, no, because I'm just selling it through my site. But I can quickly throw an ISBN on it, so it's not. Well, I have it translated to Chinese. I haven't even considered the idea of translations. It would have to get like unbelievably popular for me to do that, probably. You should get the ISBN registered before someone else does. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I could just do that.
Elsa, are you going to make any leather cord crystal necklaces? The one you were wearing in a couple videos ago was so beautiful. Thank you. I would really love to start doing necklaces. Yes.
Ask ChatGPT to translate it for you.
Not a bad idea. 869. Cool. 834. Heck yeah. Shepherdness. Do you have a German Shepherd? Or any type of shepherd? Elsa, maybe you can make more beautiful bookmarks, my mom said. Maybe so. That's the plan.
Okay.
We just showered today.
Yeah, so your hair looks beautiful.
And says my skin is just not covered in dirt.
Ask ChatGPT to translate it for you.
Oh,
that'd be fun.
If any of you guys are in Denver, on the 29th, there's only like a few spots left. Fjallraven Denver is hosting a hike, and we will be there. I think there were just like 5 spots left if any of you want to join. It's a 3-mile hike, all about teaching how to prepare for a long distance trek. So kind of like the classic video that we just published that I spent weeks and weeks editing. I hope that you guys went to watch that video. Please go watch it. Leave this live stream. Go watch it right now if you haven't seen it. But at that hike, we'll be talking about different just ways to prepare for a long distance trek. We haven't been promoting it because there's not really very many spots, but since you asked. And if anyone would like to, I don't know what the link even is, Nikki. Hit me up on Instagram and I'll send you the link. I gotta find it. Elsa, do you take commissions on jewelry? No, not really. I honestly right now don't have time to, like, I work on jewelry when I can. So to have outstanding orders and have to fulfill them is too much pressure that I just can't deal with right now. We've got videos to make and a house to build. So I just do it when I can. I did, my first commission that I did make was for Linnea and Chris of Tiny Home Tours.
And
Just
Chris
had to.
loved his ring and it's so cute.
I know, to see him wearing his ring and Linnea wearing her 2 rings. If you don't follow those guys, you should. They're great. We hope to get to meet them this summer. Same with Karina. Alexis. It was Alexis Outdoors. She's one of my favorite female YouTubers. She just changed her channel name to Karina Alexis. Karina is her first name. They also have Timbermates. They are building a house just like ours, except way
faster and better.
Ours will be clearly handmade by 2 people who don't know how to build houses. And their house is handmade by 2 people who really know how to build houses. Made out of concrete, heated floors, wood stove. They have it all. Check it out. Timbermates is their YouTube channel. But there's some cool friends up in Canada. Do we have?
Yeah, somebody said you should make rings for men more, and I concur.
Yeah, I was just talking to our guy friend about that today. I think I should, because it's really fun to make these big. There's a lot of room to play with these big masculine rings.
And mine, like, I think for the dudes rings, see if you think this is a crazy idea, but mine broke because I was hard on it. But now it's adjustable, which is wonderful because I can put it, because my knuckles are really big, like a lot bigger than my like lower finger is. So to get the ring on is difficult. And then once I get it on, it like moves around a bunch. Mm-hmm. So now that it's adjustable, I can put it on and then like tighten it down, bend it onto my finger, and it works great. And I think for dudes, that kind of may make sense because a lot of guys have chunky knuckles. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's my experience. CC Coder, awesome video and editing. Congrats on the book. Thank you.
Thank you.
Elsa is a phenomenal video editor.
Thank you. Wow. Oh, that's nice.
Well, like you're surprised.
I just like to hear you say it.
Do you guys get bears where you live? That would freak me out. No, but bears are one of the most common animals, aside from like especially predators, aside from coyotes. I feel like bears are bears in every state? Black bears?
Oh, Pilot's such a good girl. She's
I
just
know.
sitting right
I've been
outside the
checking
door.
on her. Are bears in every state? Black bears? Anybody know?
Susie?
Are black bears in every state?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Come on, Siri. I don't think they're in Texas. Yeah, they are. They're in Texas for sure, right? No, what state are they not in?
That's a good question to ask. Not Hawaii.
Oh, Hawaii. Yeah, that's a good call. Are black bears in every state?
Here's what I found from NPS.gov.
The American black bear.
Black
Oh,
bear is
she's
the most
gonna-
common bear species native to North America and can be found from Alaska to Mexico and from the Atlantic to the Pacific, including 41 of the 50 U.S. states.
So what are the states they aren't in? Florida?
No, they're in Florida.
What the hell?
I think they are.
Kansas? I didn't see any bears.
I think they have black bears in Kansas. but
Oh, I
haven't
guess
seen them.
they do like in neighborhoods and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying.
Delaware doesn't have any, somebody said.
Delaware? No bears. Hard no. Why not? Are you all just searching Google or do you know
Yeah,
this?
no, nobody knows it because they didn't know it when I first said it. Now they're Googling and acting like the authorities on it.
Definitely Florida.
Yeah.
What are bears doing in Florida?
Hanging out. Florida's super diverse. Like there are panthers
Lots
in
and
Florida
lots
too.
of
Like
bears in
they have
Florida.
mountain lions in Florida. I guess they're not mountain lions.
Alligators
Yeah.
and crocodiles, right?
No.
Where
no
are
crocs.
crocodiles?
Saltwater crocs are in
But isn't Florida surrounded by
Australia,
salt water?
and I think Africa has crocs. I don't think there's any crocs in the United States.
Really?
Are there any crocodiles in the United States? I don't think there are.
Yes, crocodiles in Florida.
No, they're alligators.
I never act like an authority. Delaware is small and flat. Well, Kansas is.
I was just joking. I'm not saying you're not. Yes, Florida.
Crocs are in Florida.
In the zoos.
Definitely Florida.
No.
In the zoos.
Yes, there
No.
are flocks, but less common than gators. Where are crocodiles in Florida? And what kind of crocs are they? I don't think that's true. Okay, Elsa, can entertain them.
Is
I gotta
Brad-
Google around.
we need
a yeah.
Is Brad in here? The Everglades, right?
Well, that's where they would probably. But hold on.
Hey, we've got some gators in Colorado.
Yeah.
We really do got some gators.
The one that ate Chubb's hand and saltwater crocodile. American crocodile occurs in South Florida. Yeah, it does. Can be found in Hispaniola, Cuba, Jamaica,
The
along the Caribbean
Everglades.
coast. Yeah, the Everglades is.
There's
like
a
South
story
Florida.
in USA Today that says
American
crocs are in
crocodiles
Florida.
live in coastal areas throughout the Caribbean, South Florida.
Coyotes,
Keys.
crocodiles, and bears. Oh my.
I've never seen a crocodile in Florida. That's kind of exciting that they have.
Louisiana has lots of crocs.
More than, but I feel like a lot of people use alligator and crocodile interchangeably, and they're two different things.
Goodness. Hello. We did answer. House build will probably start in the next couple weeks. Still waiting on temperatures to warm up just a little bit.
What building comes after your house on the property?
Garage or greenhouse attached to the front of the house. We're going to have a greenhouse combined with our house, kind of like an earthship situation-ish. And maybe even an external additional greenhouse. A shop. These are all like
A dance cage? Somebody said. I don't know what that means.
Things change so much. Our it depends on money too, what we can afford. Our house, we're building it small because it's all that we can afford. We don't want to take out a loan. So we're not against it completely, but we're going to try to do it with cash if we can. So it just depends.
Sorry, I'm just sitting here. I'm reading all of your.
About Crocs.
Yeah.
Are you
and
embarrassed?
everything else.
Do you feel embarrassed?
No, I don't feel embarrassed.
It's okay. It's all right.
Don't pit pat me. Any tips for living as a tall guy? I don't feel like I'm especially tall.
Don't get a stamp made before
Yeah.
2006.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Maybe an outdoor
Dance
kitchen.
cave,
Yes.
yeah.
I want to build eventually we have a flat area on our land that is kind of where people park their trailers currently. In that area, I'd love to build a beautiful outdoor kitchen, a shower, a little off-grid shower. Once we figure out that kind of the setup that we like. Our very first off-grid shower we're not a fan of the shower itself, and the structure kind of blew down over some time. So we have some things to work on, but I'd love to make that.
Somebody asked if we'll ever have invite people out here once we have our house done.
I think definitely that's a big goal.
But we will have like meetups kind of near where we live, but probably won't have meetups at our property.
It'd be like vetted out retreats where we
Yeah.
like some sort of application system just to make sure we kind of have an idea of who would be coming to our little retreats, and they'd be small, intimate.
Just for
things can change though.
Just for fun, real quick, if we were to have a retreat like in Colorado somewhere where people could come camp, how many how many nights would you want to camp, and about how many people would you want to be there? Like, say 2 numbers in the chat. The first number is how many nights, second number is how many days you would want it to be, or how many nights. First number, so if you wanted it to be 3 nights with 100 people, you just say 3 and 100.
Okay, there you go. 5 and 20. That's a lot of nights.
3 nights, 20 people. 2 nights, 10 people. 5 nights, 50 people. 2 or 3 nights, 20 people. 340, 350. Okay, they're pretty small numbers. There's a couple, 5 nights, 100, 4 nights, 100.
Barron and I kind of differ on our ideas for what a meetup could look or would look like. I feel like I'm more interested in doing small, intimate, so that we can talk to everyone. Because even when we do our meetups, we've done a couple meetups at Fjallraven, we've had like 60 to 80 people there, and I feel so uncomfortable not being able to talk to everyone and feeling like there's people waiting in line, so you have to cut somebody off. It just feels like too much, but you're so social that you can naturally shift and pivot, whereas I get kind of anxious about feeling like I need to be present with the person, but knowing there's still more is like, I just don't know how to navigate that.
Yeah, I think
that's one evening though. If we were camping together and had a bunch of people, that'd be different for sure. Had games for people so they could all interact with each other.
I think like 2 or 3 nights and 50 or so people would be pretty ideal.
It'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Is that something like, what do you think would be a reasonable cost for that? Like if you had to bring the majority of your own food and everything, and it was 3 nights, there was going to be like let's say 60 people there, 2 nights, 3 days, I don't know, something like that. But for like this general thing, what do you think a decent price per person would be?
I would be too shy to meet y'all. That's my problem, is I'm too shy.
Mm-hmm.
$1 million.
Okay, sold. Survey games are fun. It is kind of fun to ask you guys stuff. Lots of like 200-ish, 150, 125.
I think it depends on if we had food.
Yeah, totally.
Offered food.
But just to get a feel for like generally what people would be comfortable with. Yeah, $100 per day. Okay.
$19.99. You
because
are out of your mind.
there would be a lot of logistics and maybe even permitting and stuff that we would have to do. So we would have to some money would have to be made for it to work.
Right.
Hey, we're the ones that ask you the questions. Okay, sorry. I'll get back in my lane.
Judy, we have been talking about what we would do if it was a couple situation where you come in one vehicle. I think that also depends on the camping thing, but we had talked about that for sure, not knowing kind of how we'd navigate that.
Yeah, like maybe it would be like there would be like a
Car-based.
parking fee, or you could say whether you're going to tent
Yeah.
or camp.
It depends on
car
where it
camp,
would be
whatever.
located and how many spots we'd have.
Yeah.
Are you at 1,000 pre-orders yet? I'm not sure. Anybody get order number 1,000?
Yeah, Tammy said, yeah, I don't know if people are understanding what they're getting or not getting. Like, is it a space that we're getting, or what's the money for? We don't know either, Tammy. We're just kind of spitballing. But I think it would, like, my gut says, like, generally relatively unstructured. We'd probably have somebody come play music at night, have like slack lines set up, encourage people to bring like bikes, and we could mountain bike and stuff. We could have days where like a lot of people are going fishing and we could carpool to the lake, or
Those types of things. That seems like
but we wouldn't structure that.
okay. Everyone else can.
Yeah,
structure
it
on
would
their
be
own.
it would be like pretty unstructured, like camping trip with like maybe we would have a couple people speak per day for like a little workshop or whatever, or just like talk about some like topic, and then have yoga
I think
in the mornings. I don't know.
keeping it as simple as possible from the start so that we can then build on for future trips would be the best. Like
Yeah.
not making it so complicated that we never want to
Right,
do it again,
right.
but just fun and easy.
Just a camping trip.
Choose your destiny while
Yeah.
you're there, and we have some light structure, potentially
Yeah.
food, music, games, activities,
But like
hikes.
if there's a day that like a group wants to go fishing, we could be like, hey, this dude's a really good fisherman and he's going to this lake if you guys want to carpool. But we're not gonna like get a shuttle bus and have like a bunch of bike rentals and like do all that. It would be more like bring whatever toys you want to play with and then go play
Mhm.
with a bunch of cool people.
She's so good.
Would this be brought up on? Yeah, we'll use our Patreon community to like figure this out once we get more serious about it. We just have a lot to do.
We were wanting to potentially do it this fall, but with our house build, we're kind of under time constraints to get the house finished legally. So making sure that is continuing to move forward. And I mean, I don't think it's going to be a problem if we have to push it back to next spring or something.
The meetup, or what are you talking about?
Something, yeah. But this fall may not. Last summer was crazy with the amount of stuff that we had to do. You couldn't even hunt because it was so busy that I crumble under overwhelm. So
Well,
I don't
and
want to be overwhelmed.
I don't like, we've gone to some things like that, and I like them best when they are wide open and you could just like meet people and then go sit around a fire if you want, or if you want to go on a hike, you can go on a hike. Like if it's more structured, I feel like that's one thing that we would do for, like, we talked about a couples retreat where that would be more structured and less people. But for this, it'd just be like a big camping event for like as many people as we could have comfortably.
And where we have potentially the brands that we've worked with, BioLite, Fjallraven, be somehow a part of that is another thing that we've talked about. But yeah, I feel like this year might be a little too soon. We clearly really want to do this because I think we talk about it in every live stream.
It's like the number one thing that, like, I really, really, really want to do that.
We want to take this and move it into real life, and also make it less about us and more toward
the community.
Right. So that's our goal. We just kind of have to tunnel vision into certain things right now. Yeah. Which is our house.
And thankfully too, we have Bob Wells as a friend to consult with. And he has like the biggest Nomad meetups in the world.
Yes,
he's the OG of OGs.
Yes.
So Yeah, so this CeeLo said Cielo said I'm a certified meditation trainer. I'd be happy to offer and lead sunrise meditation.
That's exactly what we want.
Right. Like like guided meditations in the morning and like yoga classes is like about all the structure that we would have, I think. And then most of the things would be pretty wide open. Have a bunch of slack lines set up and like cornhole and just stupid games to play and stuff. Just to kind of like spawn conversations and help people build community.
Clever. I always structure my house parties to serve extroverts and introverts.
That's
Interesting.
really clever.
Yes, because I think clearly Are you extroverted or introverted?
Yeah. Somebody said, yeah, I want, or is it Mage or Maggie? I don't know. Yeah, I want some meditation. Can we do the psychedelics? I don't know. That's something we would have to sort of.
It's not on the schedule.
No. You'd have to. I don't know. I think as long as like people keep it to themselves and aren't like clearly having problems, then it's whatever. You're free to do what you want. Did I say Maggie first? Now or Mage? I don't know. Sorry, Maggie. Mage. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best. Let's see. I'm quite shy and keep to myself. Yeah. A flute circle. Yeah. Yeah, we have lots of interesting comments now. Excellent. Love to see a Bigfoot. Elsa, do you still do yoga in the morning?
No. It's too small.
Yeah.
The space in here is still too small. It's about time to get started back with that though.
Okay, so it's Mage.
Mornings are warming up.
That's really cool. That's a cool name.
It's getting kind of dark, so should we wrap it up soon? If there's any burning questions that anyone wants to ask.
Let's do some rapid fire questions.
Barron, the caffeine has hit.
Rapid fire.
Do you feel a little better?
I feel way better. I feel like you're totally
energized. Right. It was just a little green tea.
How are the pups? Good. Keep them coming. What's something new that you want to try? Ooh, that's fun. I'd like to get more into Western fly fishing. Elsa?
I would like to learn how to weld and tile. I want to build a bathtub.
Charcoal or propane? Honestly, if I had my preference, I'd cook over wood instead. What's your favorite animals? Mine is a Rhacodactylus leachianus or a rainbow boa. Elsa?
Oh my gosh, I like them all.
Elsa likes all of them.
German Shepherd and a Shiba. I don't have a favorite.
Do you have all the windows ready to go in? Yeah, we only have a couple more windows left to install. Married, so no with Barron. No, since we're married, it means I have a free license to do as many of the shower lifts as I want.
Yeah, we need to do another hot girl summer very soon.
Yeah, we'll do that. We were just talking about this with some friends the other day. When people get on there and are like really angry that I'm not a girl, that's so satisfying. It just cracks us up. I don't know. Just knowing that somebody was being a perv and clicking it just to like see a hot girl and then I turn around, I think is just hilarious. Somebody that's a little thirsty just getting clickbaited, I think is funny. Yes, is the fly fishing creeks near you? Someone
said house style. It's going to be pretty southwestern.
Yeah. What's the first word that comes to mind? Mage, because of your name. You know, as soon as you said
video gamer.
Yeah, Paige. Paige. Whatever you said that rhymed with mage. Now I'm only thinking about World of Warcraft, and I'm pretty distracted.
Are you guys done with 2 dogs? No. What?
Oh, like will we have more dogs?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Not anytime soon.
Yeah. I have a copper bathtub. That sounds rad.
Water well? How?
Kids? Yeah, we would love to have kids. We got to have a roof on our house first, though.
Water well? How? We have a well.
Yeah. Is there any other state you'd like to live in?
Maybe Central Oregon.
I would say
Montana?
Alaska for a few
Wyoming.
years would be interesting.
Idaho? No. Probably Colorado.
Somebody asked if I play OSRS, and I don't know what that is. I have a YouTube. Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I have a Discord server, Normal to Nomad on Discord. If anybody, I can really only play iPad games right now, but if anybody wants to nerd anytime, you can hit me up on Discord.
Square foot between house and A-frame. The house is going to be around, I think, with the upstairs around 900 square feet, and the A-frame is like 80 square feet. 880 pre-order, yes.
Let's
Thank
get to
you.
900 before we turn off the live. No, I'm just kidding. How much was the classic trip? I think tickets to the classic are $200.
Mhm.
And for what you get, I think that's
Mhm.
insane. Like they have to be losing money on it.
We're going to buy tickets this year, I think.
Yeah. Do you think you'll ever go on the road again? I think for sure. Once we get our house dialed.
Definitely.
And I think to break up the year, like going on a couple week long nomadic excursions per year, we'll definitely do. It just like being in the scamp when we went for that snowstorm, it felt really, 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 really surprisingly good. And yeah, once we don't
It's
have so much
home.
going on, I'd love to get
The
back
scamp
out
is
in
our
it.
home for
Yeah.
sure. It felt just, it wasn't like, oh, I missed this. It was just, this is home.
Jennifer said we purchased a scamp and really struggling to understand solar. If you had a solar thing, I do. That's like one of my longest chapters is about solar. To give you like a quick bit to run with, convert everything into watts and watt hours. I won't belabor this point.
Okay,
But
send it.
so rather than using amps and amp hours, convert everything into watts and watt hours. So you multiply the amps times the volts to get the watts. So always do that. Like if somebody says that my fan pulls 2 amps on 12 volts, multiply those together, so it'd be 24 watts. And same thing with watt hours. Rather than thinking in amp hours, if you have a 12 volt battery with 100 amp hours, do 100 times 12 to get 1200 watt hours. Period. Buy my book. That's all.
Nick's
Why are you
picks.
annoyed?
Look
6
at
hours
this
later.
guy.
Shut up, Nick's picks. It's like you've been on a live stream before and heard me try it. This is why it's so hard. It's difficult to articulate how solar works quickly, but just play that back at half speed and you should be good to go. Updates about your truck. The truck's just kind of chilling for now.
It's a farm truck.
Yeah.
Using or helping us transport materials from James and Doreen's property back and forth to ours.
When you two first left the normal 9 to 5 and ditched living in a house, was there a period of insanity as now full circle slowly back to a home-based life so that it makes me think we all want a house? And we never really had like normal 9 to 5s. We lived a more normal life in the city though.
I don't think we've ever worked a 40-hour work week. I never have. I've never had a clock in 9 to 5 job.
I did at Backwoods. Yeah, while I was like studying programming.
So when you left and ditched living in a house, was there a period of insanity? It was a little challenging for sure to move into a little tiny trailer.
Especially
scary.
the like lack of things that you had to do day to day was kind of hard for you.
Yeah, it felt well because we didn't have any money and we were hardly making any money, so it just felt really wrong.
And there were lots of times that we didn't. Yeah, there were days that like we didn't have anything to do and we were low on cash, so it felt like we should be working, but there wasn't any work to do
and nothing to pay for.
Yeah, so yeah, it was definitely an adjustment. And I don't think like if the world or the United States was more accommodating to living nomadically full time, I think we would probably like look at doing that more even.
Yeah.
But it's like the legality of things and being harassed, and
they don't want you to do it full time.
Yeah, like
people do it though.
Yeah.
And people make it work, and we did for 5 years.
Yeah. It's subversive in our culture, which I think there's a big discrepancy between virtue and legality. Like what's okay and what's good to do and what's legal, I think are two totally different things. But Did you watch the video I sent? Yeah, we've seen a lot of videos about the Berkey being like not that tight, but we've put like pond water through it and it's been really good on the back end.
We're also only filtering. Oh, I saw a new study about the Berkey actually. We're filtering our well water.
Mhm.
So we don't have any like pissed out pharmaceuticals and stuff in our water or potentially heavy metals. We need to get our water test done, but it's good water and we normally drink the water. Well, ever since our last live stream, the Berkey filters have been broken, so we haven't even been using. It's just basically a jug right now. It's not filtering anything.
Bubbles RC Shed, the situation you're describing, I think you would really like my book. I think it would resonate with you a lot. So pre-order is available at normaltonomad.com.
Septic system, yes.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Fish or beef? Fish, beef, fish. Depends.
Yeah.
They're both good for you.
I like them both. I have a well and a Berkey. Should I be using the filter? I don't. You could get your water tested. You may not even need to run it through the Berkey, but have like heavy metals and stuff.
What I saw was it's the fluoride filters actually add a heavy metal they want. There's something within the fluoride filters that sure it's like reducing some of the fluoride content, but it's adding like iron or something that you.
So maybe if we were like living in the city where they dose it with fluoride, then we would use the fluoride filters. But out here, since we don't have any fluoride in our water, we don't need the fluoride filter. Yes, favorite Colorado IPA. Ooh, the Epic Day IPA from Eddie Line Brewery.
And mine's the Crank Yanker or Grapefruit Yanker IPA from Eddie Line. It just happens to be that we both love Eddie Line beers. They make some good beer, and they have really made a lot of new beers in the last few years since we first started being in that area.
Well, Angela says, how is Canada international? I tried to pre-order, but can't quite yet.
It is international.
Well, it's because of the
USPS.
Yeah, like so to ship, we have to have the like forms declaring what's within. I don't know. I'm going to try to figure it out. But for the pre-order, we just did it in the States. You'll be able to order it everywhere digitally for sure, though. And I mean,
Mexico is also not part of the United States, even though we're on the same continent.
Yeah. McDonald's or Burger King? If I had to choose, I'd probably go McDonald's, but I've
never liked Burger King. Yeah. 884.
Dang, we could get to 900. 16 more. Come on, people. Thank you all so much for pre-ordering. It really is. I don't even know. I don't have words to describe. It doesn't quite feel real because I haven't distributed them to all of you quite yet, but
there's a little more brightness here. Should we?
Do you have a favorite battery generator? Yeah, we like Goal Zero stuff. We've always had really good luck with their stuff. Hello to you both.
Pilot is still just sleeping right outside the door.
Any more burning questions before we end the live stream? Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. That's another thing. The international shipping is so expensive that I would feel bad like selling a $20 book and then having to charge you $25 shipping.
That's how I am with stickers.
Yeah. So then it's like I would just rather you buy a digital copy so you don't have to pay $60 for the book.
We know that it's your choice though.
Yeah, true.
It's just something that feels really funny.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for all the super chats and for all the awesome questions and conversations and for pre-ordering my book. We appreciate you the most. We almost went for 2 hours.
Digital copy will be live along or with the full release of the book. Right now it's just the pre-orders, and we'll do the full release here in a few weeks. We'll tell you a date when we have a date.
Yeah.
We're using the pre-sale to figure out how many books to order.
Yeah, because we need to, and to like have the money to order the books because it's expensive to order as many books as we need to order.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Well, if you haven't already and want to, check out the link in the description. It's Barron's website, normal2nomad.com, to get a copy of his book that he wrote.
Okay. Love y'all. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye.